Does anyone else think it is a gift? A gift to the foes of Mordor? Why not use this ring? Well, the foes of Mordor are gonna need all the gifts they could get because today I am piloting Mordor for you. I am in red in Mordor in the bottom right corner, fighting against Cortex on Erebor in the top left. Now these are league matches. This is the Dunedain League. These are sort of intermediate level. This is where I've been playing for the last half a month or so. We've been getting all kinds of league games in, having a fabulous time with it. So competitive, as high end as we can manage on our own at this intermediate level. But we'll give you a good show. We're gonna do 3 matches for you today. First off, myself and Cortex here. I am opening 1, 2, 3 slave pens into an orcish stronghold because they've gone 2 into a barracks before their 3rd one. So the dwarven barracks is coming up very rapidly, and I'm aware of those sneaky dwarves. And just to think things a little different, I send a worker on a little journey up to the north here. I'm going to try and hide a couple of extra slave pens up in this northeast corner and hope that it doesn't get visited by any dwarves. I don't know if that's necessary or not, but I was thinking there probably would end up being a forward dwarf mine, and we'd have all kinds of dwarf hammerers in our base right off the rip. So I wanted to get a little extra eco hidden off somewhere safely to the side. So far so good. Going straight into a troll cage for it as well, though. 1 orc fort, 1 troll cage. I love trolls so much. Erebor workshop going up in the back, so we've got a rush for some charioteers probably here. First orcs are walking out. Again, I thought, the standard play is often some dwarves loaded into the dwarvish mines, and then they pop out right in front of your base and they come give you hell. But we did not see any forward dwarf mines. He opted to play a little more carefully. He's on 3 mines straight into the workshop, so a bit of a slower start for him. See if we could punish him. We've got 2 orc warriors closing in, looking for trouble here. I've got all the way up to a 3rd sort of hidden slave mine up top, so we are expanding rapidly, and boom, right off the bat, out comes the goats. So those orcs are in trouble. These orcs are in trouble. We've got, he's got some close quarter specialists loaded into the mine. Okay. Yeah, all right, so there's pikes and swords he had loaded into his mine, and he's got the Ipsenab Azgakaka. That was my best estimation of it, at least. A lot of herds of zebras running across the plains. Love to see it. All right, so we know we gotta take the foot off the gas for a little bit because we gotta get some pikes out before we go any further. But we do have the mountain trolls coming on the field, and then we're going straight into 3 orcish strongholds. First pikes are showing up. So we merge up our swords and our pikes together, and we send them out into new raiding forces. And then what is a raiding force if without a troll? Trolls are incredible at raiding. They're very hard to deal with just like a small force, and also really great at some siege damage as well. I do see his builder. He's trying to move up and do a little cheeky build, a little cheeky mine up top, but it's literally right next to a slave pen that I already have there. All right, we've run straight into him. He drops the Horn of Erebor right off the bat, though, which has me wondering if I should even bother to stand here. My troll is a little uncertain, but he's also gone straight into some dwarvish archers as well, which are going to give my troll a little bit of grief. The next set of spears and swords headed up north to try and clear out this mine. We're battling up top here. He popped right out of the mine, right into my man. There's a lot of pikes there. We get a nice smash. Oh, a second one would have been great there, but I was eager to sort of run in and see if I could like smash that clump once or twice, because it would have done huge damage since they were all stacked on top of each other. Okay, he's cleared up the raiders back at home. I'm trying to catch this dwarvish mine over here. I imagine we're about to see a horde of dwarves come out. There's some dwarves coming out. He's got the natural sprinters come up, do a little bit of trampling. I'm trying to pull the mine down before all the orcs die. We've got some extra orcs coming up here. We do catch a builder here, I think. He's running. Well, we've got another squad of orcs over here getting eaten by some wargs, of course, because why not? Damn wargs. So we do pick up that mine, and we strand all of his dwarves out here in no man's land, so we got that going for us. We don't really have enough orcs up here to deal with them. A second chariot on the field here. We've got another horde of 2 trolls and orcs headed towards his base. These ones down here are gonna take some time to clear up this war glare. Just get it out of our way. I guess we're gonna sacrifice these orcs to buy us a little bit of time, because they're not gonna trade particularly well. More orcs and pikes going up, more orcs. 3 orc strongholds can pump out quite a few. And we've got our first hero, Shagrat, is on the field. I don't think there's any dwarf heroes on the field yet. We've got a nice sized force up here. Pikes, at least 2 warriors, 2 trolls. We're gonna beat down some mines. Almost have that one cleared up. And we do manage to catch his archers out here, which is actually a nice win for us with this second wave of attacks here. Maybe a 3rd or 4th wave at this point. That's what the orcs are good for. We smash up that top mine. Our raiding force is moving in. We're smashing up another mine. This one's level 2. Catching the level 2 and level 3 mines around the enemy's main base. Very lucrative. This has already been a great raid. A couple of trolls here. They're getting a little low. In come the chariots, but we do still have pikes in here. So we put a bit of down. This chariot's down a half, but nope, looks like we're getting cleaned up. The trolls are trying to run back and grab some trees for a final last stand there. But in the east, we do manage to get a ton of orcs all around this dwarven mine. You want to make sure you do like a move command around the mine, so you clump all your units up on it better. That gets more models in to be attacking at the same time. If you just right click on it, your guys kind of stand in formation and only your front line fights it. So you always want to be clumping your units together with those move commands and things. Shagrat's coming in with another raiding force here. He's gonna see if he can save this troll. We do drop the Ungol trackers here. 7 points for both, 725 power or command points for Mordor, 475 for the dwarves. So we've done a good job expanding with Mordor. Down goes the Horn of Erebor to buff up his units. We are just trying to get this mine down. Up top, we're just sort of more skirmishing. We do have pikes in there, but he's being pretty careful with his chariots. And then in the middle, we've got another force. There's the hordes of Mordor are just everywhere. 348 on the field for the dwarves, 480 on the field for Moria. And we're gonna pull down this other level 2 dwarven mine, so just really crippling his econ here. We've managed to kill all of his leveled up mines around his base, usually considered the safe mines, you know, the safe farms. Those trolls just getting it done, but out come, just as the Haradrim riders come up, out come the goats. Send in the goats! A powerful stampede of goats to crush the enemy units. Now it doesn't do a whole lot against the trolls, but it does clear off everybody that was guarding the trolls to protect them from all the various spears and things. But the Haradrim riders get some decent trample in, and we've got a level 3 Gloin on the field. First Nazgul is up, and Shagrat's still level 1. He was forced to retreat, head back home, and find some bandages. Haradrim raiders still going around the base, chopping stuff up, but we also have some dwarven raiders who catch a Mordor builder back here and clean up all of these northern slave pens. Okay, let's be careful with this, Nazgul. Don't charge the pikes. Don't do it, Devok. Okay, dismounted. I'm so good. Dismount. It's the high-end play you're here for. Alright, we've got a dismounted Nazgul and a troll with a tree and a whole load of orcs coming in. There is a chariot here. Gets himself a nice trample, a decent toss. Battling in the backfield with these level 5 Azog Baruchs, dwarven battlers. What are they normally called? Erebor Warriors is their other name. Everything has like the name that they're called. The Sigyn Udrig are actually, you know, the Erebor pikemen. So it's hard to know what's what. Level 4 on Gloin though, and they've done a decent job of cleaning up this forest. I think we did end up losing our Nazgul in there somewhere. Here's some more orcs in the back of the base, though, trying to cause trouble. Some more orcs over to the side. Unfortunately, most of the stuff in the base was already destroyed. I need to be cleaning out these mines up north. And there we go. The horde heads that way. We do manage to slowly whittle down this level 5 unit, enough to force them off. And another raiding force headed to the west. Bunch of orcs and a troll. Any other tech going up here? These are all still level 1 orc buildings, still level 1 troll cage. We're just going trolls and orcs so far. And I think Shagrat level 2, he must have gotten some work done there. We've rebuilt a Nazgul. I think the last one must have died. But we got a lot of orcs up top now. We are starting to clean up some of these northern mines. How's Gloin doing here? Level 4 on Gloin, but we're about to catch him with a pretty big, sizable force here. 6 command points in the bank for the dwarves, 8 in the bank for Mordor. Just getting a little bit ahead with all of the building destruction we've been able to do. Mordor at 775, 600 for the dwarves, but that is about to drop. 550. Looks like we've got our hands on an Erebor worker as well, just to pay him back. Some skirmishing up north, though. Even one squad of archers, one squad of pikes against their dwarvish counterparts are probably going to trade pretty poorly. Except we do have the Ungol trackers up there, though. Maybe enough to sort of tilt it in our favor. It does look like it's going pretty well, actually, because we're able to get on the dwarven archers there. Big battle down south is the southern raiding force, plus Nazgul, plus some mountain trolls. Do manage to bring down chariots and get a pretty decent trade here. However, Gloin drops the Barak Khazud. Nearby dwarves gain XP bonus, resistance to fear and terror. We do have a Nazgul in here, but only level 2, so not quite up to the screech yet. He's getting a little low. We gotta watch him. Can't be throwing Nazgul away. Second Nazgul in the field over here, charging down some pikes like you do. He's dead. We do also have Hadhad here, level 2, but Hadhad and Gloin are on the run as the southern front is broken in the way of Mordor. Big push in the middle for some more orcs, but looks like mostly just some pikes and regular warriors. They're gonna get mulched down. And a force of dwarfs pushing on the top. It's very multifaceted, a lot going on. One of the Nazguls gets away, level 2 escaping back home, and we've got a Fellbeast flying around the fortress here. We're going Fellbeasts, baby. You know, we know the dwarves hate cavalry. What if we just put flying cavalry? Now what are they going to do? They can't pike them then. We did get a nice group on top of Black Uruk Marauders, and I think Shagrat in here maybe? Or maybe just the Black Uruks. We're on top of Gloin, but Gloin managed to fall back, and he was forced to drop the mine shaft on top of him here. Pretty suboptimal, but because you could drop it anywhere in the map and it gets protected by Vault Wardens, nearby allies gain damage and armor, but he needed to drop it immediately to save his hero's life there. Which is, you know, a savvy play, knowing that you could put it down and cause the knockback there. So, but we managed to force him to use that at least a bit suboptimally. Dwarvish raiding force hitting sort of towards the front of the Mordor base now, and the first Fellbeast is on the field, and the dwarves are in retreat. They don't have anything that can handle this, and Fellbeasts are also fabulous siege damage. Chunk, look at that, almost 25% a hit. That's wild. That's such good damage. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I just need to make more Fellbeasts more often. They are super expensive. It's like 1,500 to buy the upgrade, and then another 1,000 or 1,500 to buy it for each individual Nazgul or something. So it's a big expenditure. It makes your Nazgul very expensive, but they're flying, and the flying heroes turns out pretty good. We still got all kinds of combat everywhere. We got Hadhad and Gloin up to 5 up top, a little bit too far up, so we're trying to give them some grief with our Nazgul here. They take out our troll, but are forced to flee from the Fellbeast. Down south, we're slowly catching up to these raiding dwarfs. We went down to 725 command points for Mordor, and 550 right now for Erebor. Oh, I missed it. We had dropped Shelob to try and get a kill, but I think they were able to get back into their mines quickly enough. Yep, still Gloin and Hadhad. First Drummer Troll on the field. Drummer Trolls are huge. Allies near the Drummer Troll gain 33% damage, 33% armor, and 50% more XP. really can amp up the power of your hordes here. Ooh, the goats come. They sent in the goats, and that's a lot of dead orcs. Pretty savage. Some of them survived, thanks probably to the armor buff from our troll here, but pretty rough still. Plenty of orcs still left around though, but Gloin in the hero squad pops back out and immediately gets attacked by our Nazgul, up to level 5 now. Just doing Sauron's work here. Really, really nice stuff. There is where is he? King Brand is on the field. Gets a nice arrow shot with the black arrow of Dale, but this isn't a dragon, this is something much worse. And the Nazgul's fine, makes it out 60% HP or so. And we could start seeing fire arrows are online for the orc archers. Fire arrows are one of the recent changes in the patch. They've made it so even your level 1 Gorgoroth Foundry can research fire arrows. And then you could immediately start kitting out your orcish archers. And the fire arrows, you know, basically double the damage of the archers, and suddenly they're very respectable. Can even do some reasonable damage to buildings and things with the fire damage. Really, really good. Oh no, look what we have here. It's Nazgul number 2 on a Fell Beast. We've had 1 Nazgul. Yes, what about 2nd Nazgul? And we're pushing in real well. Battles in the east, still a very multifaceted war going on here. Nazgul are chasing down the chariot. I don't know what's their chariot damage like. Not that great. Chariots are pretty beefy. They're much better served sort of pulling down these archers. Nazgul are still like 80%, 60% here, so they're flying east to cause trouble wherever their archers are not. There is some archers over in that raiding force there, but when there's 2 Nazgul together, they can even tear apart some archer brigades pretty well themselves. Chariot comes back in here, cleans up all these fire arrows. And a squad of archers in there, and there is still there's Brand up top there. We gotta be careful about him. We're delving a little greedily, a little deep with these Nazgul. Felbeasts, however, do fantastic hero damage. Am I feeling lucky is the question. No. I am leaving before we lose a Nazgul because they are just way too expensive to throw away. Hadhad coming down level 4, so he's got his sabotage, heavy damage to enemy buildings and disable it. We're starting to get some black Uruks on the field, so we've got upgraded orc caves. In come the Nazgul. We're gonna see if we can get on Hadhad here. Chunk. We're working on them. Are the Uruks fast enough to catch them? I think so. Hadhad might be in big trouble here. The Uruks alone might get him. More battles in the center. The Uruks, I'm pretty sure they're going to get Hadhad there. We've got him nice and surrounded. Boom, Hadhad is down. Strong battles in the middle. Both of the Nazgul took some heavy archer fire. You can see even the archers are chasing them way too deep into the horde. So they lured the archers back out. Okay, so we got 16 points. Ring points in the bank for the Erebor. 20, however, in the bank for Mordor, and we are both staring down our level 25 abilities here. And Mordor's gonna get there first. Calling the Horondir as we do another wave of some trolls and drummers and orcs. And it's looking pretty grim. 568 of 900 for Mordor, 270 of 725 for Erebor. Erebor's done an okay job of getting their minds back up, but they've just been at an economic disadvantage for a long time, and Mordor has been able to pull down a lot of the extra mines and keep them from getting up all they need. Ooh, the Horondir Raiders get a real nice sweep around the back. Hasn't been too much need to be protecting from cavalry this game, but that's why the Raiders are such a fantastic power point, because you never expect to be like in the mindset of watching out for cavalry when you're in the Mordor matchup. You know, you kind of watch it for trolls, but the trolls aren't going to surprise you. They're kind of slow and lumbering. But the Horondir cavalry, they pop up and all of a sudden they're right in your face, causing you grief. Okay, all the orcs are dead, but the trolls all leave. We'll just go back home. We'll come back later. Nazgul sat at home for a little while, regened their health, level 3 and level 6, and they are just sweeping the map, looking for fresh meat. They were trying to catch that builder there, but he jumped right into another dwarven mine. I don't know if we got it or if he canceled it, but He bought himself enough time to scare us back, because now we've got the Azagar Sharahul, who are terrifying. Where are they coming out from? Isn't that the upgraded one? Or are those regular archers? No, those are the upgraded one. Where is... Doesn't he have to have like a readout for that somewhere? I'm going crazy. There it is. Iron Hills crossbowmen. Devilishly powerful ranged units. At level 2, they can ignore enemy armor and basically kill anything. You know, there's videos of these guys bringing down a Balrog in a couple seconds with their ignore armor ability on. So, some very dangerous ranged firepower. But the Eye of Sauron is always watching. I was looking to go around the sides, but I opt to just put everybody in the middle and drop the Eye of Sauron on the whole dwarven stack as the orcs move in. Dwarves are... So they send in the goats, but they're only at 22 power. They need 3 more ring points before they've got a 25. And we're starting to get some Olog High on the field here as well. The armored trolls. And basically all of the dwarves die under the gaze of Sauron. 130 command points in the field for the dwarves, 970 on the field for Mordor. I think that's all she wrote. A lot of black Uruks as well, chasing some of these chariots around with some pikes, and the trolls are going to work, smashing down the production structures. Nazgul healthy in the sky without those dwarvish crossbowmen to bring him down. There was no option there. Gloin's on the field, but not long with Shelob here. Shelob, I think, was trying to jab him with a stinger, but didn't quite get there. Gloin flees into the tunnel network along with King Brand, but it's all over now. Mordor senses the blood into the water, surrounds the fortress, and we've got a win, a victory versus Cortex here. GG. And lest you feel bad for old Cortex there, he does go on to win the series against me with 2 other victories, but we got him good with Mordor. We got him real good. Let's move on to game 2. Lots of games to go through today. This one I have not watched, but I heard it was pretty entertaining, so we'll see how it goes. We have King Mikey on the Woodland Realms in blue, in the bottom right corner here, actually. And then also Florin on Rivendell with teal. So blue versus light blue. We'll see how it goes. And yes, we do have army colors on, or house colors, because I just like the colors, all right? I know we get a lot of comments asking people to turn them off, and the answer is no. Let's see what we got here for Woodland Realms. Sylvan Clearing right off the rip. So 2 hunting shrines into a Sylvan Clearing and a 3rd hunting shrine. Up in Rivendell land, we also have a very similar timing. We've got 3 weirdly placed orchards down. I think maybe he screwed up and didn't leave enough space in the back for another 97% one. That would be my guess as to why it's sort of weirdly spaced, but that's fine. He'll be all right. Straight into the town's guard. I guess he's creeping. Because you don't expect fast cav from the Sylvans at all, because they've got a tech to tier 2 for it, which they are doing, incidentally. The Sylvans, however, will expect fast cav from Rivendell, though he's gone 4 orchards. Not a Dunedain gathering on the field yet. We do have some wargs up above, some wargs down south. Looks like 4 warg nests on this map. We've got some Gondorians just sort of hanging out here, keeping an eye on the ruins on top of the hill, probably manning a watchfire. And we're not seeing a whole lot yet. First spearmen, straight to spearmen for the Woodland Realm, so we're not going to see not a whole lot of harassment right off the bat here. Breland Town's Garters just doing some warden duty and cleaning up some wargs across the map. A second squad of Breland Town's Guard headed down south. Are they creeping? Are they going to creep the other guys creep? We've got a very aggressive forward hunting shrine for the Woodland Realms here. I'd love to see Breland catch that. He's suddenly realizing what's going on. There's going to be wargs here as well. That worker's going to have to book it. Yeah, just kill this shrine. You could do it. There we go. I like it to see it. Daggers coming in. Dagger wielding Sigil Maethir against a whole bunch of hobbits. I don't think you want that hobbit heat. Up top, the warg has been cleared out. The inn is being grabbed. Down south, the shrine has been cleared out. And the Breland Townsguard are coming back. Another Breland Townsguard over here. A tad heavy on the Townsguard, if you ask me, but we'll see. First Sylvans are getting cleaned up. No economic damage yet. We did have one of the Woodland Realms very aggressively placed shrines down there chopped up. 450 right now for the Woodland Realms. 500 for Rivendell. And we got some speedy Woodland Realm spearmen booking it out before any of the hobbits can catch them. We got a squad of hobbits and Brelands in the middle, and we got Brelanders down here cleaning up another warg lair. Dunedain Gathering is up, but I don't think we have any Dunedain out yet. Looks, what is this? Veterans of Osgiliath. Okay, so it's pulling out some veterans from the shrine. That's very nice. They're basically sort of elite swordsmen, I believe. Pretty tough. They also get extra armor and resistance when near Boromir or Faramir, which will not be relevant. In come some elves. A number of elves in the base right now. They need to be focusing on buildings when you run into a base, though. There's been too much running into the enemy's base to fight his hobbits, when you really want to ignore the hobbits. The hobbits, meanwhile, take down a shrine up there. You want to ignore the hobbits and go for their structures. And you kill the hobbits when they come for you. There's some Elvish Cav here, which are by default Cav archers. You can still trample with them, but you got to be a little more intentional about it. I don't know if you got one or not, but the Rivendell first Rangers of the North on the field, very powerful archers at this point in the game. Chopping up a Rivendell orchard up top, but the Veterans of Osgiliath should make short work of it. Oh, indeed, they basically two-shot these Sigil Maethor. Hobbits coming back round, though they don't need to. Oh, they're just running from the... Ooh! Oh, the hobbits come running home to hide from the trample, and they do manage to get to the safety of the Breland Townsguard, who cut a bloody toll through those cavalry. And there's just a lot of Rivendell in the field right now. 428 points on the field of Rivendell, 330 for the Woodland Realms. Realms are going to get another one here, and that's just because there's too much on the field. The micro's lapsing a little bit. They're going to get cleaned up very nicely, though. Currently 416 of 650 for Rivendell and 270 of 650 for Woodland Realms. So pretty close. Woodland Realms has done a nice job. We got double expansions coming up down south for Rivendell, just at the exact same time and place that the Woodland Realms is putting his up. We'll see how that goes. We got hobbits down south getting blasted by Sylvan archers, and the two remaining horse riders here. Toriel's on the field as well. Toriel does a nice buff, vision, attack range, experience gain for all Sylvan units, so she's great with archers, and she herself is a very capable archer. Toriel is really wonderful to put on the high value Rivendell units, have her start picking off the ranges of the north. That's really good value. But these Veterans of Osgiliath actually are really nice, because they're given a nice firm core to the early game Rivendell force that you kind of lack. The tree goes down. A little bit of a knockback, a little bit of a damage and armor debuff. And we've got a big battle in the middle. I think this is Rivendell favored. The Rangers are very powerful, and the Veterans of Osgiliath as well. Indeed, just about everything else is dead but the Rangers and the Veterans, and Woodland Realms forced to retreat. We've got another raiding force up north, another raiding force down south, both from Rivendell, so looking really good. There's actually too many Rivendell units in the field right now. He's struggling to get them all where he wants in the right spot. A lot of Sylvan archers, though, plus Toriel, managed to clean up those Veterans of Osgiliath. And in come the Dunedain Outriders. They're gonna feast. Oh no! So many Sylvan archers. So many. The spears that were over here, they were just a little late to the party. However, they are gonna catch a handful, and they do stab down a couple of riders. Toriel manages to clean up a couple of them, but the damage is done. We lost about 2 squads of Sylvan archers there. Friends from Distant Lands comes in, and wouldn't you know it, there's some traitor Sylvans. Some Lothlorien spear ladies, some dwarvish pikes. Gonna see what they can get done in the back of the base. Handful of Rivendell. Oh, the western raiding force is chilling out. Ooh, the northern raiding force is retreating, even though this hunting shrine is at like 3% hit points. They certainly don't need to run. I don't know if Toriel alone scared them off there. Very nice. The friends from distant lands are going to clean up this hunting shrine, and they're putting damage straight onto the Sylvan clearing, though I wouldn't expect them to be able to quite clear that up. However, Toriel is in mortal danger here. She realizes it in time, I think, and is going to be booking it. Sylvan allies about to time out, but she's being chased by a couple of bounders. No, she's okay. But more cleaned up down south, looking like a lot of trouble for the Woodland Realm. Rivendell has definitely had the time of their life for this sort of early mid-game. 460 on the field of 1,000 for Rivendell, so doing really great with their expansion. 240 of 475 for the Woodland Realms. So hugely Rivendell favored at the moment. Rivendell has used that space to just expand all over the map. We've got orchards just about everywhere, and a forage way in the backfield. Did he build that off the rip? I guess he was probably saving that spot for it. Very savvy. I was complaining that he didn't build there early on, but he was saving that spot for a later drop of the forge. Rivendell looking really good. Woodland Realms pushing in. Again, they're going to struggle with these veterans of Osgiliath coming out, though. Elite tier swordsmen cut through some of these Woodland Realm units. Even Toriel, again, is in some danger here. She could whip out the daggers, though, for some close quarters combat. Gives her a boost in attack damage and some splash damage as well. Big cavalry force of outriders, and also another raiding force in the back. I would love it if those rangers killed that guy. Okay, he's gonna escape. Ooh, but the pikes are not here. The pikes are gone, and so 3 squads of outriders feast upon some Sylvan Rangers, tear apart a builder. We've got Farron on the field as well for the Wood Elves, a very solid melee fighter. Can summon rangers, can do a nice sort of shield bashy kind of stun as well. Down south, some Brelanders. We do have Aragorn and Gildor and Glorian on the field. Very solid heroes for Rivendell. But Rivendell playing cautiously. He knows he's got the advantage here, so he's not throwing stuff away. Rivendell sort of falling back on all fronts. Look how speedy these guys are with the Toriel buff. She did the nearby infantry gain 20% movement, and they're just race carring across the field. They gotta be careful, though. I don't think they even want a race car into this force. Gildor and Aragorn alone tear up basically this entire infantry line. I guess Farron's there. Toriel's in the back, causing some sort of mischief. And we got Galleon on the field as well. Getting a nice hero squad out for the Woodland Realms. Dunedain archers up here, getting some fire. And Gildor's quite low, actually, forced to retreat. Delved a bit greedily there. And we saw the Elven King's Decree, which I honestly don't see played too often, but maybe I'm a potato and I don't know what I'm talking about. Ooh, we got some actual elves in the field, though. Makari. Some of the Noldor taking the field, and look at them eat Sylvan arrows and basically not even get dented by them. Oh, once the elves come out, it's going to be all over for the elves. Toriel level 6, though. She's power leveling here. And we got a level 3 Radagast. It's still a nice hero squad for the Woodland Realms. Is Farron in here as well? Is Farron still here? However, there's no actual units yet. 180 of 500. Meanwhile, Rivendell is 840 of 1,000. Is this just death for Woodland Realms, or are they going to be able to pull this back? Because it's looking grim. Play's been really, really solid. Fleurin on Rivendell has been absolutely controlling the map here. Oof, in comes the Hall of Fire, used as a knockback, sort of dropped in there. He's summoned. Who did we get? It's Celebrimbor. We're gonna be running around. Has a beautiful AoE fire damage aura. And I'll be damned, but Rivendell was driven back. I'm not even entirely sure how. These Woodland Realm heroes must be absolutely earning their pay here. Galleon on the field still, Radagast, Farron, and Toriel, all of them survived that. Alright, this is maybe the one chance for Rivendell to get back into things. Many Meetings goes down again though. Rivendell not ready to lighten up the pressure on them. Though I don't think this Many Meetings is going to get much done. They will probably end up getting the, cleaned up by the hero squad here.
Our swords will keep him safe. All right,
lads. More Noldor coming on the field. We're getting banners on them. Have we got any of the good upgrades yet? Noldor and armor. Almost always what you see first. It's very, very strong. It makes these super tanky units doubly tanky, and they're just awesome with Noldor armor equipped. Ought to be seeing that quite soon. I think he's going in maybe a little prematurely. He has the I mean, he's at 600 of 1,000. Woodland Realms at 100 of 450. I think if you're struggling with the hero squad, you know, don't trickle in on him. Although he's doing a good job of keeping the infrastructure down still too. So no notes. Just disregard everything I said. Not really engaging with that hero squad, which we saw do some big work earlier. And now we're starting to see the Noldor and armor on the Makari come in. And those guys are going to be real tough to deal with. However, the nature of the heroes makes them okay for fighting. Because they have the heroes do such high base damage, they can actually get through that armor a bit. There's just a lot of Rivendell on the field right now. Hard to even see where the Woodland Realm heroes are in this. I see Galleon running for his life. I see Radagast falling back. There's Legolas as well. Toriel as well. I'll be damned, not a single Woodland Realm hero died in that scrum. And they're chasing Halbarad back. They tried to get the knockback on him, but it does not work. Halbarad escapes by the skin of his teeth. He's lucky Legolas didn't pick him up there. And we've got basically nothing but about 4 or 5 elves with daggers and 5 or 6 heroes on the field. It is only a hero squad. We're gonna see if the Avengers can win this out. The hero squad pushing forward, trying to take down this, but they're in trouble because Rivendell has reformed the lines and is marching back in. This force seems weirdly to be almost entirely Breland pikes, which pikes, you get a slight damage boost against heroes, so I guess. What you really want to do to kill heroes like this is an emphasis on not your pikes, but your archers. And Rivendell has incredible archers, so I don't know why we're not seeing much of those in the field, but he might just be able to dive the base and kill everything in the base. Alright, the Makari are going in. They've got the heroes surrounded. Surely this is the time of hero death, right? It's very difficult to tell. I see Legolas running for his life. Toriel doing her best. She's at level 9. Teleporting around like a crazy elvish witch. Is that Thranduil? Thranduil's on the field now as well. Only level 1. We got some elves summoned, and the armies of Breland are driven back, but Gildor manages to summon some extra Noldor exiles here, but they're just having a hard time dealing with the elvish heroes. We've got a timed summon about to time out now. Meanwhile, the other half of Rivendell has marched around the back of the base and basically killed all of the buildings that the Woodland Realm has. We are down to 300 command points, but that's fine. He's not using them anyway. Your heroes don't take any command points. I think we had some losses there. Looks like Farron maybe went down. Thranduil still alive. Level 10 Toriel, a level 5 Galleon, and a level 6 Radagast. Oh my god, I'm wrong. Farron over here soloing this orchard. Still no units on the field other than heroes for the Woodland Realms, and in fact they're running out of heroes to make. He'd need to get a lodge up before he can make Bjorn. Some spears. Rivendell's forces marshalling once again. I don't know that the Breland Towns Guard are the play here. We do have some Rangers finally coming online. And, my god, it is Elvish Singers. Singing away the enemy buildings. You almost never see these guys. These are technically the ranged siege damage for the Elvish army. They do all kinds of stuff. They actually passively benefit. You see this water erupting on the base? That's the Elvish Singers using their destruction ability. And there are some Wood Elves on the field right now, but there's still a large Rivendell force. If it wasn't it before, this has got to be it now, right? Right? How long can the Woodland Realm heroes hold out? Not that long with the elves singing down their fortress here. So anyway, the Revelers can passively decrease the damage of enemy units. They buff the XP of your units. They have a cooldown to boost the production of orchards. They have a cooldown to decrease buildings' speed and armor. Revelers can target units to reduce... I don't even know. But basically they can sing buildings to death, and that's what they're working on. Finally the buildings are sung to death. Finally the end of the Woodland Realms. It felt like a long time coming there, but it's done. Is it over? What have we got left? We've got one final battle here for you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. The third of our league games here. I've been mixing it up. We got two new players for you. Octavian on Haradwaith and Valrokar on Isengard. I think Valrokar is probably the top ranked currently in the bracket. Took 2 games off of me and has been 3-0ing most of his competition. He's been playing very well. Valrokar in green and Isengard in the northeast corner, and Octavian on Haradwaith in the bottom left. Nice to see some faction diversity as well. That's sort of why I picked these games. So we get a little bit else to look at. I've been almost entirely playing Rivendell, Mordor, Lothlorien myself. So if you watch the games of me, it's going to be one of those 3 factions, because those are the only ones that I feel really comfortable with in a competitive style. We're seeing the clan steadings start to come up. I suspect we'll have some wildmen. We'll see how the wildmen do against the tribes. Oh, we got straight into the Mahood gathering, not the tribal gathering. The Mahood warriors, very, very strong, a very, very powerful, almost more than a tier 1, like I said, like a tier 1.5 kind of unit. You can open with them right off the rip. Quite expensive at 350 cost, but super fast, very strong. And you can also get the Mahood headhunters, which are sort of a higher tier archer unit as well. High DPS, very low health, but if they're allowed to fire their devilish blowguns, they can cause quite a bit of grief. We'll see what the wild men of Dunland can do. Pushing in from the northeast, we've got a very forward sentry tower right off the bat, just to give some extra vision so they could see the raiders coming. Mahood warriors right away are going to catch these wild men and take them to Pound Town. Wildmen fairly speedy, but not as speedy as the Mahood, who are easily able to run them down and tear them to bits. Ooh, rough start for the Wildmen. Another squad of Wildmen headed in from the east. Tribal gathering going up, so we can see some basic tribal units out. Get a drink of water here, lubricate the old throat. And we have a warg pit coming up after the first 2 tribal steadings. Down south, the wildmen do get their hands on an enemy embassy. Is it a bazaar or an embassy? It's a bazaar, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know why I said embassy. War chant is the pickup for Isengard, used here to buff the wildmen. They're not going to get anything else done because they're about to be run down by some tribal archers and some more Mahood warriors. Up here, the Mahood look like they are caught by some... I say caught with air quotations here because the Mahood are just dumpstering the wildmen of Dunland if and when they catch them. Wildmen fairly speedy, but not speedy enough, and the Mahood just beating them to hell. They're kind of spread out here, and they're kind of getting shot by the fort as well, so I don't know that they're actually getting anything done, and as awesome as the Mahood are, they are going to be eaten by wargs. So now they've got a little bit of trouble. I would have liked to see a bit more from the Mahood right off the bat, because their early advantage of being super tough, super fast is kind of wearing thin. They got sort of stuck chasing stuff around the base back here. 2 squads of Mahood in the base. Isengard on the aggression. 500 command points for Isengard, 400 command points for Harad Waith at the moment. What have we got? We've got 1 tribal gathering, 1 Mahood outpost, and looks like they were creeping, but now they're trying to fall back to clean up some of the wild men here. Wargs tooling through the base. They find themselves a worker, and then they find themselves some tribal spearmen, and it does not go so well for those wargs, as in, they're all dead. Oh god, they're all dead. Wildmen up top, wildmen with spears down south. We don't really need the spears yet. There's nothing ranged on the field for, or not ranged, nothing mounted on the field for Harad. Spears get a little bit of damage, but they get cleaned up by the Mahood. More wildmen in the middle, but what are they going to do? I guess this tribal camp, Harada outpost, is fairly low. Someone must have been chopping up that. Tribal spears out here, so let's keep the wargs away, but the wild men ought to beat the tribal spears quite easily. And in come some Mahood warriors. Looks like those wargs caught something there. Nope. What they caught were the edge of the pikes, and they lost a couple of wargs. Harad pushing forward, looking pretty decent. Oh, there's a hero here. We got Siarul on the field as well. I didn't even see him. Tribal and Haranda units gain XP, armor, and damage. Nice leadership buff. The wargs get their fingers in the cookie jar. Nope, I'm wrong. I thought those were archers they were trampling down, but they were mostly spears, and they're all dead. Oh god, they're all dead yet again. That looks like it got destroyed, so Isengard giving up some of the forward lines because they're having trouble dealing with these Mahood warriors. And what else do you need but some Uruk scouts? Put some arrows into them, give them the Boromir treatment, and it's actually going quite well. Uruk scouts, very solid range units. They do clean up that Mahood front line, and they force back Harad Waith. To the west, looks like some wild men with spears might be creeping, might be thinking about it. Siarul's okay, he's backing off. We also have Burudapan on the field, who is the Corsair buffin dude. But we don't have any Corsairs on the field. It's just Burudapan by himself hanging out. Some skirmishing in the mid, but that's going to go the way of Isengard for now, because these the Uruk-hai scouts are quite solid. What's a scout cost? A scout is 300. Pretty reasonable, pretty cost effective. A lot of tribal units now. Just kind of jockeying for position in the middle. We saw the creep camp taken up north, but the gold not picked up yet. Harad headed east. Oh, is that Sharku who just died, or just another warg? I think it was Sharku actually who went down. Unfortunately, the wargs have had a real hard time differentiating between what's carrying a spear and what's not this game, I feel like. But that was a really strong engagement. The wargs did a damn fine job not dying that time around. Cleaned up a lot of tribal units. Siarul's running for his life. I think he's in big trouble here. The wargs ought to be able to feast on him unless the pikeman comes out in just a second here. He's turned around, he's meleeing him. He's gonna fall back, the pikes will come out. Nope, he's dead just before the pikes come out. That's a shame. Those wargs are in big trouble now. They lose a handful of wargs, but the rest of the wild men and the Uruk scouts catch up. Looking real good for Isengard. 650 command points, but almost nothing on the field for Harad. 700 command points and 500 on the field. Harad pops their Men of Darkness, gives them 2 free squads of Khan Phalanx, which are very capable pikemen, but honestly, you could you could pull him apart with the scouts if you wanted to, but he doesn't want to. He's gonna opt to fall back. A handful of warg riders are gonna be shot to death by these outposts here and some Mahood headhunters. He's gonna be. We don't have any other wargs in the field. Okay, some more wargs back in the base, but I was gonna say the Mahood headhunters might be able to feast a bit here. They are a very strong ranged unit, like we mentioned. Some of the outer caravans, what are they called? I keep forgetting it. The bazaars. I don't know. Embassy is stuck in my mind, but they're bazaars. Wildmen coming in, getting on some bazaars in the back. Still a lot of Isengard on the field, though most of them are sort of concentrated in the middle right now. Mahood headhunters cutting through these wildmen very quickly. Barudapan here, I don't know if he was rebought or if he survived that crazy scrum before. Ooh, the wargs get a nice charge on the headhunters and tear them apart. I think the wargs will lose to the raiders, though. They probably don't want that. Yep, especially with Barudapan there. The bazaar is going to survive, I think. Another round of warg riders coming in. Just as Mahood warriors come out, that's sort of unfortunate. They could have trampled those Mahood down. They do lose that one, and Barudapan is just not quite able to kill everyone. Oh, Sharku was there. He was dueling. So we got Sharku back on the field. Over here, oh my god, is that the Golden King is out? Are we taking into a hero squad for Harad? Bold to make the Golden King when you've only got 100 command points on the field, but hey, if it works, it works. We got just Sharku here, the Warg Rider leader. We got some Uruks, some Uruk scouts, Uruk scouts. So still a core of wildmen backed by Uruk scouts. They are going to find themselves a bazaar up north to chop up. Sharku's got to be careful. He's about to run into a hero squad down south. Pikes into Sharku. Oh, no. Sharku's dead. Belvakar's normally so good at that, and he has just had not a good game of cavalry and pike management. The pikes have just been in the wrong spot every time. Little hero squad down here is actually going to clean up these wild men easy peasy. Up top, we've got a number of Harandor raiders coming out on the field now, actually, and some Mahood to back them up, and the northern attack's going to get cleaned up well. Okay. Harad's looking fully recovered there, I think. Isengard sort of sat back for a bit there to sort of reorganize everything and get everyone back together, and unfortunately, I think a couple of those really bad cavalry losses are gonna keep him up at night. You know, he gets a little bit of payback there as Harad charges 2 of their raiders in and loses 3/4 of them. Who is that? Wolfgar on the field, almost dead actually. But Harad Ascendant, we're seeing the men of the south pushing in through the middle now. 360 on the field of 675. Isengard's still in the lead of 480 of 975, so a lot more map control for Isengard. This is sort of a sketchy fight here. Mind those pikes. In come the wargs. They clean up some headhunters, but lose a lot of wargs in the process. It's a very pike-heavy force for Harad here, so the wargs have not been able to do, and they get wiped out there again. Oh, I mean, it's looking pretty good for Harad there, actually. They lost a little bit, but their force is holding on okay. Wolfgar's here in the back. I think you just want to dismount him. There's so many pikes. He's gonna make a critical blunder here at some point. Are we starting to get anything spicy for Isengard? Not. Okay, so the Orc pit's up to level 2, and we've got some Berserkers queued up. There's some spiciness for you. Some fighting Urukai in the field. Those lads ought to do real well into the Harandor Spearmen here. Not a ton of DPS in this force, but there are a handful of heroes in here as well. We got Casimir in here. It's just a bunch of spears and some heroes. We do have a raiding force going on in the Harad base, but the Harad attack, we do have some Easterling spears come out to help. Khan Phalanx was summoned. They'll see if they can poke away at some of these Uruk with their pikes. Oh my goodness, is Isengard in trouble? 465 on the field for Harad, only 300 for Isengard. There's a lot of pikes in the base. And there's not... In fact, the raiding forces are falling back to the base to try to deal something. Do something about this. You gotta watch out, Wolfgar is still very low. Sharku over here. Neither of them have any levels, level 1, level 2. And it's hard to see exactly, but we got a Barudapan level 6, a level 5 Golden King. And we got the Oasis down. Oh my goodness, this might be the death push. Just more spears. Horondor spears. Decent trample with the raiders, but also decently chopped up because they charged right in next to some spears. The only berserker here is almost dead as well. My god, Harad might be able to close this out right now. Indeed, they're chopping up some of the towers off the fortress. They're gonna try and get the fighting pit. Cleaning out the fighting pit would be great. Oh, this was a level 1 fighting pit. They must have killed the other one already because there was a level 2 one before. Level 1 and level 2 in the field. Are they just focusing the fortress? My god, they are. Haradwaith ignoring everything else in Isengard, which is bold because there's still a huge amount of Isengard infrastructure. They're trying for the fortress kill. There's wild men to the west because we've had to rebuild clansteadings over there. But he still has clansteadings in the base. They're just not getting units out fast enough. My god, they've done it. The extra warriors. What are these? Oh, wow. I think that was the summon from the Golden King of the extra warriors. Wow, it happened so fast. GG. I didn't even... Wow. I didn't see that one coming to such a violent end there. Well played for our Haradwaith lord there. Volrakar's Isengard looked quite ascendant, but I don't know, just sort of got knocked on the back foot there, and had a real hard time dealing with that hero blob. And the Haradwaith hero blob is very powerful. Whew. I've had a bad end of them once or twice myself. Hope you guys enjoyed that for watching, and closing in on 1 hour here, just about perfect, about 20 minutes a game. That's a nice chunky game, but doesn't overstay its welcome, and we won't either. So thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.